Welcome
to the celebrated nightly news
of Calaveras County. My name's John.
And I'm Sarah.
And thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Now, we hope everybody had a great weekend.
It was a busy weekend.
And it was. I mean, this weekend was one of those weekends where we ran like little
things.
And we didn't get to everything. So, I guess
you almost ran your little legs off.
And
we still didn't get to everything.
Top of the news
story is that finally
Calaveras County won a gold medal at the fair. Congratulations, Visitors Bureau.
Yes, California State Fair. Yes,
Visitors Bureau and Chamber of Commerce. They got it done, and we got a nice little email from Victoria Erickson. We didn't get the sites up on the screen behind us yet, but we have some very nice shots of Victoria Erickson, who is the Chamber of Commerce Executive Director.
Yes, in a frog suit.
In a frog suit.
Yes, and her. Well, I don't know if it's her assistant or not, but her assistant frogette, Annalisa Hanato.
Yes.
She was from the Visitors Bureau.
And they did a presentation on Thursday morning.
Yes.
And we even have the skit.
Oh, very
See,
nice.
This is how the skit went. Hi, I'm Rosie the Riveter, and this is my friend Hopalong. Welcome to Calaveras County. Home of the famous Calaveras frog jump. Hop along with us and discover our rich history of gold and copper mining, the logging industry, and visit our picturesque, historic towns. Sample our plentiful bounty of Calaveras-grown products and award-winning wines.
Yes.
There we go.
It's very nice.
And it goes on from
there. And they gave this presentation to the judges on Thursday morning.
Yes.
And won gold on Friday night. And also, actually, our neighboring counties, Amador and Tuolumne, won gold as well.
So this is the gold country.
The gold country, all won gold.
Yes, gold in the gold country. Yes.
The booth actually out there at the fair was manned by volunteers, and there were 96 different volunteers out there who've been manning it.
I mean, I guess it's
during the course of the fair.
And we are one of the only. Not one of the only, but one of the counties that we actually
man our own booths.
I mean, that's quite a thing.
Yes, definitely.
And also, starting off on the news.
Yes.
This was one of those weekends at Ironstone where
it was
rolling
busy
the whole weekend. It was. And this was the Fillmore Wine and Groove Fest.
That's right.
So Saturdays,
the three wines.
Yes, the three wines, and they had the whole psychedelic thing going. And I guess these are very easy drinkable wines. They had the VW bus there with the people in front of it. And if you'd like, we have some slides of it. We'll get up on the site a little bit later. But it was a lot of fun.
Yes, and you went to the UB40 concert.
Yes,
which was
it was packed house. UB40, Robert Cray, Kebmo, and the nice thing about that one is this music was very well done. It was very crisp. It was clean. It was. I mean, they performed well. I mean, it was just and we were talking to a man from Stockton. And he's been to concerts at the Shoreline and Arco and everything else. And he said the presentation in Ironstone and attending the was the best concert he's ever been to.
Really?
I thought it was very interesting because he says the combination of the relaxed outside setting and good equipment, good
audio and music.
And he said that something else was I thought was a little interesting is on the big screens. He says if you go at Arco on the Jumbotron, it's usually broken up into sections, and you don't always get a nice clean picture.
Oh, okay.
And with the way they've done the pictures at Ironstone, it's very, very clean. In fact, he said he had a woman standing in front of him dancing a lot of the time, and he didn't mind because he could look at the screen and he could still saw
this concert.
Saw what it is. Yeah, I don't know the judgment on what he thought of the woman dancing. We'll leave that one out. But no,
that's right. We don't know. But this is one of the pictures that you can see on the site.
This is UB40 on the UB40 on stage.
Yes.
And they did a great job and a lot of fun. Everybody was dancing and
having a good time.
Yeah.
And you said that they played over a 2-hour set.
Or pretty close too. I mean, it was after 11 o'clock when we got out of there. So they were still playing. And it's kind of interesting. We were talking to some of the people from Ironstone, and they were looking kind of tired, because they were like, "Man, these people have been here since 6 o'clock. We got to do this again tomorrow."
Yes, exactly.
Because they had Huey Lewis in the news and English Beat.
That's right.
On Sunday as well. That's right. And we'll have little clips and little pictures of both of those up on thepinetree.net if you care to have a gander. Exactly. And then the other event was the first annual Portinga Memorial Golf Tournament on Friday. Yes. And almost 70 people came out to play and essentially donate to... Let's see if we can move along to some slides here. We're still playing with our toys here.
Yes. This event was actually put on by the Angels Camp Police Officers Association.
We're scrolling through our slides.
And like I said, almost 70 players came out to support the Portinga family, and the money that was raised for this event will go into trust for the Portinga children.
Right. And it's our understanding in subsequent years, they had silent auction, it was played at Greenhorn Creek, and I guess in subsequent years, funds from this may actually go to other families and causes. And it's really been inspiring to watch how the communities really come out to support.
They do. They really do. And then also, Hot August Nights.
Hot August Nights.
Yes.
We'll go back to our slides here. Let's see.
Well, we should talk about Big Trees since we're there. Big Trees State Park Family Day.
Oops, we're going back.
Yeah. Here we go.
Sorry.
This was one of the interpretive events. You see the birds?
There we go.
Oops, whoa, those are some birds. Hey!
We'll go to Hot August Nights. We're back on our slides.
We're back on the slides.
We're getting used to our little stuff here.
We're just moving around.
Hot August Nights. And this was held at the new
Coppertown Square.
And it was very nice. They've got the asphalt in. Everything's nice and clean. They had
over 100. Yeah, but they had over 100 vehicles.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of really nice vehicles. Incredible rods, street rods like the one behind us. And we're going to put up a slideshow on thepinetree.net where we snapped a picture of every entrant.
Wow.
Every entrant.
So you were busy.
If you want to say, wow, I wonder who was there at the car show, we took a picture of everyone.
Every single one. So
we don't just want to give you a couple slides.
That's right.
We want to give you
everyone.
There we go. So, and there was actually some pretty exciting cars. Now, there was even a couple Lamborghinis there.
Yes.
And we checked on the owner, and the owner is from
Copperopolis.
So.
Is it the same owner for both?
For both.
Wow.
For both. He must collect Lamborghinis, so he's very...
In psychedelic colors.
Yes. I mean, he's the orange one, there was a green one, and we were saying that, there's some money down there in copper.
Yes.
And all right,
and so this is going to be an annual event.
Yes, annual event, and they moved it here, and it was a benefit from the Lions Club. The Lions Club does this every year to support their causes around the area, and we had a chance to talk with former supervisor Paul Stein, and they are really proud of the center.
Yes,
they really are. And
well, it's shaping up beautifully.
It is.
It really is.
And I think it's one of those things that it's a very nice economic thing for the entire county. And I think it's, I think it will be a nice gateway piece up Highway 4. And it is a very pretty center. And the other interesting thing is they have it about 50% leased.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't realize
the first tenants will go up, I believe, start opening up the 1st of October.
Did they tell you who's going in?
We saw one of them was the Scooters Espresso, from San Andreas. They're going to open up one there. I think, I mean, they had a booth there, and it looked like they had a spot there.
Okay.
I know there's several restaurants, and they've been out recruiting businesses.
Oh, they have. Okay. So they're actively getting people to come in.
Yep. And so it's kind of exciting stuff.
And then obviously Big Tree State Park Family Day was on Saturday, and that was a well-attended event as well, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and lots of interpretive events like this one, which we were pointing out before, where they showed you see the little owls and a hawk. Looks like a hawk.
Yes.
So.
And they also had lots of kids' crafts. They always have lots of kids' crafts, all the rest of that stuff there. And the other thing about that is we talked to one of the ladies that was working up there, and they, in the meals, they had served over 400 meals just in the
Really?
So, and also at Big Trees State Park now is also the Arts in the Park. The Big Trees, the Bear Valley Art Association is having their.
They still have the Arts in the Park.
Yes, through Labor Day weekend. If you go to the
Jack Knight Hall.
Yes, Jack Knight Hall, and if you go to the entrance and you say you're going to the art show, you get in for free.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And a lot of local artists.
A lot of local artists.
Showing their artwork, which is always kind of fun to go and see local artists and their artwork. And this is back to for the.
We'll go back and show a pretty car.
Yes.
For the rest of
We'll
show a pretty car for the. Now, what's up on Board of Soups?
Board of Soups. Well, we didn't talk about the Rotary feed.
Oh, that's right. There's a couple things. We have to talk about,
the Murphy's Angels Rotary Club had their annual Rotary Shrimp Feed on Saturday evening, and apparently it was well attended down there at Murphy's Park. And everybody seemed to have a good time. So they were able to raise funds for their particular philanthropic activities as well.
And it's kind of interesting that the it's kind of funny that Rotary, we talked about this last week. They start with a little seafood and work up to bigger.
To bigger, yes.
Yeah, because start off with the shrimp and
this is the shrimp, and then the
move up
Arnold
to the lobster
Rotary
feed.
Will do the lobster feed later on in the year.
Yeah, so they
just sort
keeping
of
the theme.
Space it out exactly, and they're different Rotary clubs too. Yes. You belong to the lobster one, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you eat lobster?
No.
Okay, on to the next story. Yes, okay. Also, actually, you don't. No. Okay. Board of Supervisors, actually, there's not a lot going on at Board of Supervisors. This is that time of year where there's just not a lot going on.
But there is a big study session.
There is a big study session. In the regular agenda, they're talking about approving the sale of tax default property, which happens, I believe, twice a year, or whenever the tax collector's office can get to it, or when there's enough properties to sell at one time. So they're talking about approving the sale of the tax default properties. And if you do have property that has default taxes on it, they will actually work with you up until the auction day.
Good. So
you can keep your property. So pay them and keep your property.
There you go. Also
at 1:30 is the make-up study session for the general plan that the Board of Supervisors were not able to get to. What was it, about a month ago?
Yes. Because
they had too many things on their agenda and they didn't get to it till 5 o'clock. But Steve Walensky was very apologetic to the community at the last meeting. For them running tardy and said they will all be on time at 1:30. And let me tell you where that is. I have it in my hand.
San Andreas Town Hall.
That's right. See, you should know this by heart. I have too many pieces of
the Town Hall in San Andreas. If you want to attend this one and this one, they're going to talk about mixing in the community plans.
Yes. Whether or not they will, because it's
Yes.
It's still up in the air whether they're going to mix the community plans in with the general plan. So this is a big one. Actually.
Now, this one, if you'd like to attend, if you're coming into San Andreas, if you're coming going north on 49, and if you take a right in the old historic downtown, instead of taking a right, if you take a left, it's right there. It's right across the fire department. Yeah.
What's on your right is that red brick saloon.
But then take a left there.
Yeah, take a left.
Take a left there. So instead of being Main Street,
you're turning the wrong way.
Yeah. So after attending the meeting, you may want to go
to the red brick saloon, which
Just
should
kidding,
be open. Who knows? But, it's on 24 Churchill Road in San Andreas, and
which is the opposite of Maine.
That's right. Maine is here.
Churchill's there.
Absolutely. So the full board should be there, and you'll get to voice your opinion about whether the community plan should be folded into the general plan or not.
What do you think?
I think that elements of community plans should be folded in, but it doesn't necessarily serve the purpose to fold.
Do you think it'll slow down the process if they...
Well, the problem is that community plans are not necessarily consulted during the planning process right now.
Got it.
So if you have certain elements that you really want in the general plan, sometimes it would make more sense to fold just those particular elements of your community plan into the general plan, because then they're codified in the general plan and not in a separate plan that they don't have to consult that plan.
Got it.
See. So anyway, that's my little opinion
All
on
right.
community plans.
Okay.
I think they're great because they get the communities involved.
Yes.
But I don't like the fact that they're not necessarily used in the planning process. So, but anyway, there's also bond measures that
Berry bond?
not
Berry.
but
okay.
bond measures have actually hit the election cycle, and one of them is Measure C. And let me switch my little paperwork here. I have a lot of paperwork today. Measure C, it hasn't actually been put onto a election that I have been able to find out. But what it is for the Jenny Lind Veterans Memorial District to impose an annual special tax in the amount of $20 on improved parcels of real property for a period of 10 years to build a new memorial community building.
Got it.
And the Jenny Lind Veterans
We're
Memorial
all swelling
District.
populations down there.
Yes, but they've been working on trying to do this for years, so it'll be interesting if it passes this time. And also, bond measure, let's see what they called this. This is the sheriff's bond measure.
Oh, the sheriff's
Measure
bond.
J
Okay.
for the November 6th ballot has made it onto the ballot, and this is to improve the safety of Calaveras County residents and stop the early release of inmates by acquiring and conducting
$31 million or something like that?
$31 million
Okay,
bond.
$31 million
But it's
bond.
for a new county sheriff's
And that's kind of
jail.
like what bonds makes a year too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is,
just,
yeah.
just
A 9/11 dispatch center and support facilities, and it will help Calaveras County to qualify for state matching funds.
Aha!
Yes, so those have made it on the ballot.
Good.
So that's what we've got.
There was a couple of little more events that we hadn't talked about yet. One of the ones was the art and wine exhibition in Cedar Center.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, this
That
was
was
a
well
well-attended
attended,
event.
yes.
We have some slides of that as well that we will be putting up on the pinetree.net a little bit later. And they had live music. They had, I think, 13 wineries pouring.
Yes, exactly.
So if you wanted to do some nice tasting there.
And also, today is the 151st anniversary of the Murphy's Hotel.
Very nice.
Very nice. So go down there and have a martini.
Did they have martinis 150 years ago?
I think they did.
They did? Were they actually called
I
martinis?
think they were probably called martinis.
Okay,
I'm
all
assuming that, but I don't know. I'm not a martini
Me
expert.
neither, yeah. I drink martinis about as often as I eat lobster.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
which is not very often. But there's going to be, let's see, Vince Rojas and the Plan B will playing on the patio from 7 to 10 today.
Plan B.
And domestic beers will be $1.51. And there will be a barbecue from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So if you're in that area and you want to go down and celebrate the 151st anniversary of the Murphy's Hotel tonight.
Now, they had quite a big shindig last year.
They did.
For the
That was the
150th.
150th. Exactly. They had a lot of things going on.
Yes.
A lot of things going on. So.
Anything else
What
exciting?
else have you got?
Yeah. Now, there was a lot of stuff going on this weekend.
But there's
We
a
ran
ribbon
like
cutting
mad. Yes,
for
we
the
have a ribbon
chamber.
cutting for the Chamber of Commerce. And this one is going to be for the businesses coming to the Chamber.
That's right, which
It
is
is
unusual.
a mobile pet grooming, Aussie pet grooming.
Yes.
So that will be August 22nd, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. They will be doing the snip
The
snip
snip.
at the okay, all right. At the Chamber of Commerce office on Main Street.
In Angels Camp.
Yes.
Exactly. Which is right across from the Visitors Center. Or catty corner to the Visitors Center.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What up
state
exciting on
news.
national news? Oh, state news. She has some
news.
exciting state news.
Yes, it looks like we may have a budget.
Wow.
Wow. Senate Republican leader Dick Ackerman said Monday, that's today, that the Senate has reached a tentative deal to resolve the state's protracted budget fight. He cautioned, however, that the Assembly and Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger still need to approve the agreement. My crystal ball isn't quite working yet, Ackerman said. So there may be an end in sight. And apparently, to date, this 7-week budget standoff has cost the state about $3 billion.
$3 billion?
Almost $3 billion in
man.
unpaid sort of vouchers and responsibilities that they have not done.
Wow.
So almost $3 billion has accrued on the red side of the state's financial situation during this 7-week standoff. So,
a couple little things we hadn't touched on yet, and there were some more motorcycle accidents in the area. There was a Reno man that had major injuries, and this was over on Highway 26 at Deerdorf Road. He was going approximately 45 miles an hour. For an unknown reason, allowed his vehicle to drift to the right off the paved portion, and then struck some rocks down an embankment, and it was, sounds like the guy that was following him came along and he crashed too. So, there was, accidents there. There was also a drunk driving related crash as well. So if you're trying to catch up on those, and we'll be posting the press releases on those on the site if you want to go to thepinetree.net.
Yes.
And we did kind of a fun little thing this morning. We went and talked to the Bret Hart audiovisual class.
Oh, very nice.
And we're trying to get some kids to help us doing some play-by-play for some of the high school sports. So they're going to try to do some of the like girls softball, girls basketball, girls volleyball, doing some things like that. So it should be a fun thing. Kelly White and company will be handling the football
honors and the basketball honors. They'll do that for many. They've done that for
many years.
And I'm sure a lot of you have seen them on Channel 7, and they will be replayed on Channel 7 too.
Yeah, and one of the nice things this year is we will be able to push the games live.
Yes.
So we're going to have live high school sports. So, and I'm tapping the table. I shouldn't.
You're so excited. You can't contain yourself.
I know. Should we touch on Dean?
On Dean?
Dean.
Go ahead. You can touch on Dean.
On Dean? All right. Dean is heading for. Dean has already slammed Jamaica.
Mexico abandons oil rigs ahead of Dean.
And already slammed Jamaica, probably rolling through the Caymans, and now it's on to the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yes.
And they have, looks like both sides of the Yucatan are warning. Another kind of a local tie-in is, excuse me.
Oopsie-daisies.
We had a chance to talk to Bob Middleton from Middleton's in Angels Camp, and he had just gotten back from vacation on the Yucatan Peninsula. So he said it'll be going right through where they were.
Wow, so they got out just in time.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Wow.
Yeah. And kind of an interesting local note. This is a small planet. And we were talking to a businessman down in Angels Camp today, and he was recently in Germany. And he was talking to somebody at the German airport, and they were asking about the manual mill, the old lumber mill in Arnold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were asking if it was still a bed and breakfast. So it was kind of that 6 degrees of interesting
separation. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he was. It was kind of interesting. He was in the Frankfurt, in the airport in Frankfurt, and somebody just randomly was asking about Arnold.
Really, and he overheard them?
No, he was sitting there talking to him. Yeah, talking from California, and somebody was asking about the old lumber mill in Arnold.
Wow.
So we need to do an update on that. Now, do you know that there wasn't the old manual, but wasn't that actually turned into a bed and breakfast? Did they do a bed and breakfast out there?
They did, and it used to be on the bed and breakfast tour. There used to be a bed and breakfast tour in the county.
Is it still? I hate to ask that because I should know.
I assumed it was, but I'm not sure. It was beautiful out there. It was very remote. So if you wanted a bed and breakfast experience where it's very remote and off the beaten path, and there are no telephones or televisions and very rustic, although the food was excellent out there.
Yeah.
So to tell you the truth, I am embarrassed to say I am not sure. But it used to be on the bed and breakfast tour, but there has not been a bed and breakfast tour for a few years, too.
Yes.
So, anyhow.
And I guess the other thing is Vic is in the doghouse, huh?
He is. Yes, he is. Yeah, with all those other dogs.
Yeah. Should we go to weather?
We should.
We already touched a little bit on weather, huh?
We did touch on weather a little bit, but I did want to say there is one headline which I think is sort of interesting.
Okay.
Two, actually, and I just overshot myself on my little hinky computer here. Half of dogs and cats in the UK are now overweight.
Even our dogs are fat.
That's right, according to one study. And actually, the fattest cat in the world, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, used to live in the Paddington Station in London.
Really?
They had a big cat basket for it, and that's where it was a he lived. And also, is fat catching?
Ah, yes.
Scientists discover a cold virus that can make you obese.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I must have caught it.
On to weather. On to weather now. So, and I'm just waiting for my little computer.
For weather. For weather.
Mm-hmm. Weather. We've got weather.
And thanks for we really appreciate you stopping by. We've heard some good comments about stuff, and it's kind of a fun thing to do. And we will try to keep adding
more
new toys, new stuff,
right.
and it will be a fun thing. And occasionally, if you're watching this, I may look to my left a little bit because I'm actually running our feed, so I have to check and make sure that we're still pushing.
That's right.
So
that you can still see us.
We wear many hats here.
Yes. Arnold weather.
Arnold weather.
Tuesday, 90 degrees. Wednesday, 90 degrees. And Thursday, 90 degrees. So it's very consistent this week.
Bear Valley, high of 79, low for today. 80 tomorrow, 80 on Thursday. Lows in the 50s.
And I'm not scrolling.
You're not scrolling? All right, we're going to do Angels Camp. And it's getting warm down the hill. I guess we'll just work straight down the hill. All right. Murphy's, high of 95 tomorrow, high of 95 on Wednesday, and 95 on Thursday.
Okay.
And it was a bit warmer, and they're saying Angels Camp weather, high of 93 tomorrow, 93 and 93. But I think it was a bit warmer. It really was.
Like it was like it was.
It was a little warmer. And it's warming up, so I think we may get some triple digits by the end of the week.
We may. You're gonna do Bangor, Maine?
Bangor, Maine. Here we go. And for our viewer in Bangor, Maine, and this is
actually our Bangor, Maine viewer may be able to ship lobster out to the Arnold Rotary Lobster
Hey, there we go.
That's
an opportunity. So if you're in Bangor, Maine, our viewer, and you would like to have a sale in
in
Calaveras County in Arnold,
contact the Arnold Rotary.
Tomorrow, Bangor, Maine, high of 74, low of 45, high of 72 on Wednesday with a low of 52, and 72 and raining and showers on Thursday.
Ooh.
So, no lightning though.
No lightning, so that's good. They can still set those lobster pots.
Yes. And also for Copperopolis.
Okay.
Copperopolis weather.
You can tell my machine is completely froze up.
Yes,
so
hers is the slow machine.
Yes.
95 degrees today, 98 tomorrow, 98 on Wednesday, and 97 on Thursday.
So it is
it's
hot.
pretty close. We're getting pretty close to triple digits. And we want to thank you for stopping by.
Yes,
thank you for joining us. And we will be back tomorrow evening at 5:30.
That's right.
And if you didn't get enough of us at 5:30, we'll always replay it at 10 p.m.
Exactly.
on Channel 7 as well.
And we're also on
anytime on thepinetree.net. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night.